Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm Coach Deborah Smith, and I am so happy to be here, and I'm finally coming back down to earth after last week. It was amazing, and if you're saying, what is she talking about? Hey, you missed it? Boy, we had our 5th annual Mothers with Sons conference, and when I tell you, it was the best ever. We had so much fun. We got so many nuggets. We learned so much. We had Pastor Angela Marks from Fayetteville, North Carolina. We had Pastor Shaniqua Davis from Nassau, Bahamas. Miss Brady Robinson from Dallas, Texas. Hey, Brady. And we had Pastor Rosemary Winbush from Jacksonville, Florida. But it was amazing. If you missed it, you got to go back. It's out there on YouTube and Facebook. Check out the reruns. You don't want to miss all those nuggets. But I am so happy today. We're back with Blueprint for Success. And you know, this month our theme is Blueprint for Moms and Sons. Well, I have a new guest all the way from Dallas, Texas. So I can't wait to have her on here. So I'm not going to delay any longer. I'm going to bring her on. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Toshika?
I am doing wonderful.
Wonderful. Glad to have you on here.
I am glad to be here.
Yeah, I've heard so much about you, so I finally get to see you. And one day, hopefully, we will meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, so. It could be so great. Hey, you got to go on one of those cruises with us.
Oh, yeah. That is my, I definitely have that on the to-do list.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I could read your bio, but I would rather for you to tell everyone about yourself, what you love to do.
All right. Well, I'm Toshika Davis. I'm here in Dallas, Texas. I have 3 wonderful children. One of them by birth, and 2 of them I'm a bonus mom. My husband had 2 sons from a previous marriage, and so we're one big happy family of of two sons and a daughter. So he got to have have a daughter, and I got to enjoy two sons and learn about them. And I grew up definitely with brothers. I currently work at a bank and attend Pathway of Life Church, where I've been a member there since 2010. And I have served on the praise team and in various places in the ministry. And I am just enjoying life and just working my way in the kingdom of God, and just love to share with people of all ages and everybody about not only about the Lord, but just life in general, and just be a servant and be an example. Pretty simple.
Awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And you write plays as well, right?
Yes, yes, I have. I did a little playwriting a little bit before marriage and stuff. I did want to kind of work in the theater a little bit, and kind of was edging my way towards there. And so, of course, life and kids come along and kind of change that path just a little bit. But I do want to get back to that. It is definitely a passion of mine, and so I am looking forward to kind of continue to write a little bit, and maybe do some a little bit of acting and things of that nature. So I haven't given up on that dream yet, and so it's still a lot of life to do and a lot of things to do in that area. And hopefully I can bring a message, not only just verbally, but also on the stage. That was my favorite thing to do. So.
Yeah, well, that would be great. Yeah, because I love it. It's just amazing, with those plays and doing
Mhm.
those, how many of them that I've seen, you look at and it's like, wow, that's real life stuff right there.
Yeah, yeah, and it's sometimes it's a way to get people to just look within when you see it on stage. It's something about not just being told about it, but seeing it that kind of makes a connection and brings a light. So I think that's the part of it that I really like, because I was able to use that for ministry purposes as well when I did write plays, that I can bring it home to people and really kind of set it in front of them for them to see, and it was impactful.
Good. That's good. I love it. Well, in God's timing, I know you'll be back and you'll be at it again. So let me know when you start doing that, because I have to check you out.
Oh yes, most definitely. I definitely hope to do that really, really soon.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, Dan. Thank you for tuning in. Well, we have a great, great topic, I think, today. I've been talking about mothers and sons, and like it's been almost 2 weeks ago, I talked about mama's boys, and some people say mama's boys, but I think it's just a real tight bond.
Hmm.
So today, our topic is going to be built on next level devotion. And if you look at those words, built on next level devotion, you'll see again, we're talking about that bond, because there is something to me that's special with that mother and son's bond.
Hmm.
So, moms are the initial caregiver of their, all their children. But just think about, mom is there, she's nurturing, she's supporting, she's giving them the first part of life that they need. They learn to depend on mom early on.
Hmm.
And, while moms will kiss the boo boos and tell them it's going to be okay. Dad's trying to toughen them up. So,
Hmm.
we have that special, special place. So, we want to talk about that today. So, Nishika, do you agree that mothers and sons have a special bond, and why?
Yeah, I do. Not, I think mothers create that bond, with sons and with daughters.
Mhm.
I think the bonds are very important. As a mother and a bonus mom, and I grew up with brothers too as well, so I kind of learned a little bit about raising young men, and just kind of getting them to set the standards on how they want to treat a woman or a young lady, and I was able to give them that perspective, and also show them what a real woman and a lady looks like. Me and my husband both been able to be that example. He's been able to show them how to treat a wife, and they've been able to see that. I think it's so important to just not just build that bond, but just be that example, as well. You're not just speaking that example, but just living that example for them to see. And I think that helps create a bond too, because it's something about seeing it that stays with them, that stays with the son. They was able to see the example and not just hear about it, and I think that's really important, and it creates that bond with mother and son.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good because especially with the generations now, it's not so much your husband and you telling them, but when
Hmm.
they see it, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, all right. They're
Yeah.
they're walking the talk, the same thing that they're talking.
Yeah,
So
and it's so much out there down with the internet and with the Facebooks and the Instagrams and the TikToks and everything. They get access to so much,
mhm.
and visually see so much. So you have to really go about your way to show them, and be that example, because you have so much competition in viewing. And so you have to really, stick to your guns and let them really, really, really see that, because what they're seeing out there is totally different.
Yes, I agree with that. Hi, Pastor McLean. Thank you for tuning in and watching with us today as we talk about built on next level devotion.
Hmm.
Relationships between a mother and a son often do develop into a deep emotional bond, and it provides a sense of security, love, affection that can profoundly impact the future success of that child.
Hmm.
So this bond helps establish that foundation of trust, support, and like they're seeing an example. So they can trust what my parents say, what my
Hmm.
mom says.
Hmm.
Hey, I can lean on that. So it enables the sons to develop those healthy personal relationships.
Hmm.
And those are so important. So do
Yes.
you believe it is helpful to continue that strong mother bond through teen years and adulthood? We were talking earlier about
Hmm.
they start calling them mama's boys, and that's like,
Hmm.
hey, some of you wives be glad to get a mama's boy because I think moms are really some teaching them
Hmm.
those things that they need to know. So, what's your perspective on that?
I definitely totally agree. I like to parent in a style that I'm preparing my kids for life. I think we do our kids an injustice if we don't get them prepared for the world. If we don't, there's certain things that the school can't teach them. There's certain things you definitely don't want the world to teach them. You want to be the one to show them. It starts all at home. And for me, it's very important that I show my sons and my daughters what they have to get prepared for life, because one day they're going to have to live in this world, maybe sometime without you, and they need to know what to do. They need to be prepared for saving money, and learning how to budget, learning how to fill out applications, learning how to talk and communicate with people, and learning what is the things that they need to be looking out for, how to read documents before they just sign on anything. Things that will prepare them for life. And so I'm a big believer in that with all of my kids. I, wanted them all to, go and get little part-time jobs at 16, because I wanted to build that foundation that will prepare them for this world. And if we're not preparing them, we can do our kids a disservice.
That's right.
And like you said, it starts with trust, because if you build that trust with them, they're gonna really listen to you. They may not always kind of like it all the time. They didn't like it when I was telling them, okay, you're gonna have to save money. You can't spend your whole, little part-time paycheck. If there's something you want a game, save up for it. You start establishing that and teaching those fundamental foundations. And I think it helps them get ready for different stages in life. You want to prepare them for this world. It bothers me if with parents send their kids out unprepared. You can't, expect them just to just go out there and know everything to do. It has to be a lesson. It has to be something taught and given to them. And I think that's the most credit thing you can do for your son, is get them prepared for this world more than, just telling them, hey, don't, just do this or do that, or don't, just play football, play sports, or just be on your game. You have to really say, hey, learn how to save your money, son. Learn how to budget. Learn how to cook. Learn how to wash dishes. Learn how to wash your clothes. Those are all fundamental things to help them prepare and take care of themselves.
Hey, I wish I had a rewind button on here so I could play that back. You just said, what you just said is worth gold, because there are so many of our young men out there that are unprepared. And it's bad enough that they aren't prepared, but they're young men. And so when they get older, not only do they have to take care of themselves, but they are expected to take care of somebody's daughter. And we want them prepared. So, if parents are not teaching them, just because you're sending them away to college, that doesn't mean they're going to get any more than you teach them, because a lot of the things that they taught in school 50, 60 years ago, they don't teach anymore. Like you were talking about budgeting and all that, they don't teach that.
No.
And so you send your kids off, they go to college. Let's just say they get lucky and they get a scholarship, they go into the pros. But if they don't know what to do with that money, how to budget, how to save, that they can have millions and millions of dollars and it can be just gone. How many, if you do some research, there are so many professional athletes and others that are broke.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how, no one ever taught them how to manage their money.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. No, nobody. I think the wisest thing that I heard a rich person say was they always sign their own checks. They never, allow, they have a budgeting company or an accountant that maybe handles things, but they sign their own checks. And I feel like that's always so important. You have to be the one that are signing your own checks. Know where your money is going. You paying an accountant, to kind of keep up with things, but it's for you to cover yourself and not just trust in that accountant, because there's so many accountants that have burned people and stole all their money, and you don't know, and because they're not signing their own checks, so they don't see nothing where the money going. You want to see it. You want to see exactly what is going to and what's going on. And so, yeah, I can't reiterate that enough. You signing these contracts for these pro football players, signing the contracts. Know what you're signing. Don't leave it up to the sports agent to do everything. You do your homework. Yeah, you want their advice and their opinion because they specialize in that, but also know what you're getting into. And so that's been always my structure for my sons and my daughter. Know what you're getting into, know what you're signing, know what it's all about. Ask the questions. It's okay to ask the questions and say, hey, I don't understand. Help me understand this so I know what I'm getting into. So that's always been my go-to for them. What are you getting involved in? Do you know all the ins and outs of it? Have you researched it enough? Are you asking all the questions and getting all your answers? Just don't jump into everything. I feel like knowledge is power. And I think we definitely want to teach our young men that, gain your own knowledge. You may not specialize in it, but have some knowledge in it. Research it. Find a little bit of things about it, so you kind of not going in blind. And so that's always been, that's, to me, that's about building your foundation. That's building your best life. That's building that structure. That's the blueprint. That's the blueprint, because you want to have the next generation of your family and your kids to create that blueprint where they start teaching their kids how to get ready for life.
That's right. That is so right. If you are just joining us, we are talking about built on next level devotion, that bond between mothers and sons. I see Miss Sybil. Now I'm calling you Miss Sybil because Coach calls you Miss Sybil. I see Sybil. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. And Jocelyn. This is a great conversation.
Yes.
Some individuals have an issue with that strong mother and son bond that many have. And they, again, they go and they start calling them, oh, that's a mama's boy, that's a mama's boy. What is a mama's boy? But
Right.
to me, as long as there are healthy boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
if a mother and son have that special bond, 9 times out of 10, and listening at you talk, and I know the way I think, that time spent with that son, that mother and son, it's
Mm-hmm.
not babying them, it's
Right.
teaching them about
Mm-hmm.
life,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
I think that's important. I don't know what people mean by mama's boy. I think that term has just kind of can be have a negative tone to it.
Yes.
Um, I think you know, when we think of mama's boys, we think of a young man who can't make a decision, who you know, mom does everything for him. You know, do his laundry up until he's 30 years old and cook, you know, cook it for him all the time. Maybe that's the structure that they're talking about as far as a mama's boy is concerned. That you know, he hasn't been taught to, you know, take care of himself. Maybe that's the mama's boy term that they're talking about. But you being having a bond with your kids and you're teaching them and preparing them for life, that's not a mama's boy. That's a mom that's, you know, concerned about her son, that loves her son, that loves their child and want to see them do well. Who
Yeah.
doesn't want that? And so if you want to see your child do well, you're going to instill in them the values to help them succeed in life. You know, you want to see them to, you know, if something, God forbid, happened to you, you want to see them be able to go on, you know. And I think that's love. That is total love and devotion when you can prepare them for this world. You don't want them to go out there and not know how to, you know, how to, they have to depend on somebody else to wash their clothes, or don't wash their clothes, or don't know how to cook for themselves, at least something. You know, they may not make a gourmet dish, but hey, I can make a hamburger. Okay, mama, I can, you know, put a pork chop in the oven or something and make a vegetable. You want them to have those structures in life, and that, to me, that is love, that is devotion, that is building a blueprint for their success. That's what you want to see. Them coming home and asking you questions or getting advice for you is not a mama's boy. That's them using the knowledge and skills that they've gotten from you already and making their decision. I heard someone say that, you know, when you have a child and they go from from being a child to adulthood, you stop advising them and start you know, stop telling them what to do. You start advising them, and
Mhm.
that's what you want to be at that time. That builds that bond, that builds that foundation, that builds that blueprint, providing structure. And that's not a mama's boy. That's a man that's wise. That's a
Yes.
man that has a direction. That's a man that knows where he's going and what he needs to do. And he's looking at his mom for knowledge. And because he know his mom knows, and he know his mom cares and is setting him up for success. And that's what you want.
Yes, most definitely. And and like when you have that type bond and they've grown up, we talked about trust before. So
Hmm.
from a young age, they have learned to trust you.
Hmm.
You've always communicated. So when they get in those teen years and they kind of like confused or whatever, and then the young adult age, they can still talk with you because they still trust you. So they're
Hmm.
gonna listen to mom. They know mom is gonna tell them good stuff, and what
Hmm.
she says, she knows what she's talking about. I
Yeah.
mean, who better to tell them about things that they need to know about young ladies,
Yeah.
from respect to their bodies, everything that they need to know.
Hmm.
You know, good conversations that need to be had. Dad can't tell you everything because dad doesn't know all about us.
Hmm. Hmm.
Moms do that. And I was like hey, don't get with somebody, go cohabitating
Hmm.
and getting married because you want somebody to cook for you. I'm
Hmm.
going to teach you how to cook,
Hmm.
how to wash your clothes,
Hmm.
press your clothes. Don't go out here wrinkled up. Make up your bed. Well, why I got to make up my bed? If you don't get in there and make up that bed,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's hard. You get you know, you will get some resistance, right? That's teenagers for you.
yes,
You know, whether daughters or son, you'll get that resistance, but you don't give up. You continue to, you know, be that sounding board. You can continue to encourage them, you know, in love. and continue to teach them, because one day it's gonna snap, it's gonna click, and then they're gonna listen and they're gonna hear. My mom, who's unfortunately not here anymore, I as I got older, I still remember the things that she told me. And I cherish those things, and so you want to still do that for your sons. Don't give up, because sometimes they don't want to hear it and they get into their own little mindset, because that's what teenagers do. But you don't stop. You continue to press, you continue to advise, you continue to give structure, you continue to give understanding, and you can kind of make it fun too. I did some fun things with my kids. When they were in middle school and stuff, I decorated the whole house like a movie theater. And I told them, you got to earn your ticket to the theater. So you had to do various things around the house. And we had a family movie night, but they had to earn that little fake piece of paper ticket that I made, to be able to come to the little theater, makeshift theater I created. And so you can make lessons fun. You have to create that environment. When they were in middle school, I got little credit cards. It was like called Green Leaf or Green Light is what it was called. And we were able to put their allowance on those cards.
Yeah.
And it kind of structured them and showed them how to use, a card. They was able to get their own snacks, or anything that they wanted extra with their little savings on their card or their little allowance on that card. And it taught them the value of money. It taught them about going to the store and budgeting. I told my son, okay, you got just $20 in your allowance. So what kind of snacks you gonna get? And he loading up on snacks. I said, wait a minute, you gotta can't start counting. I know we at the dollar store, but if you got $19 worth of snacks, it's gonna be some tax in there. Your $20 ain't gonna cover it.
All right.
And so you start there and you create those teaching moments, and you find those teaching moments that they don't even know that they're learning, because they think they just doing something, but they really are learning something. So you just ask God to give you creativity, and just continue to push those things. And so that's kind of how I handle things, and still do sometimes. I try to make learning still fun, even in their young adult age right now.
You have to be creative with it.
Yeah, because I mean, we're against a world that's so creative, and they got many other things that got their attention. You
Right.
have to really try to stand out to just get their attention. Because if you just kind of walk and talk, it becomes in one ear and out the other, and they think you just nagging and stuff. And so I had to really ask God, give me some creativity to help get their attention, and make moments that I can teachable moments.
Right.
What can we do to have teachable moments? We had Thursday night, no phone night, here at the house, where we were all sit at the dinner table. Nobody can have their cell phones, no TV. We had dinner and everybody had to talk. Just talk about their day, or talk about something, or talk about something on the news, or whatever questions that they had. And it started out, they was a little reluctant, but after a while they got used to Thursday night, no phone night. They was looking forward to it. Thursday came and they was like, oh, we got to put our phone up, without us even having to tell them. And so you just have to, really create those moments and create that structure. And it's so essential and important in these days and age, this day and age. And so, I hate to sound like a repeat, person, but I just really want people to, I have a passion for that. Being preparing our kids for that next level. And like you said, creating that blueprint. I call it blueprint for success. You said blueprints for moms and sons, but that's what it is, a blueprint for moms and sons to create success for their sons, to create established success for their sons. Because in the end, that's what you really want, I would hope.
Yes, we want them to be successful. We know that they can be, regardless of what
Hmm.
society wants other people to think. That
Yeah,
they just want to be on the corner doing things, risky behaviors, and things that they should do. We know better, so
yeah, most
it's up
definitely.
to us to step it up. We can't say, well, the school didn't do this and the community didn't do that. We have to step it up.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. We do. Hmm.
Yep. And if we have those people in the community that want to help, as well, because we have a lot of single moms. We have to
Mhm.
allow those people to help us. Now you got to be careful. I'm
Yeah.
not saying no anybody, but if it's somebody that you know, you've been watching them, it's a neighbor, it's a educator, or somebody that you've known for years, you watched them through the years or whatever, by all means, accept that assistance.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, it takes a village. And if you got a community of backing, me and my husband, we've always had our kids in church. So that was definitely a village for us, a very much a community backing for our children. They had because we had a youth department, at church, and so they were able to tap into that. They was able to tap into children's ministry at the church, and so yeah, you want to use all the guidance that you can. That good guidance and
Yeah.
godly guidance, and like you said, guidance that you know that they're going to be protected and that's not going to harm them, but you do want to have a village, because it does take that and it will help and pay off in the end. Hmm.
Yes, most definitely. Hi, Kim Amir. I see you on here. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, Tashika, explain to everyone the boundaries that we need to put in place to avoid sons from becoming dependent on their moms as they grow and strive to build their best lives. I've heard some things that you
Yeah.
already mentioned, but can you give us some more?
The boundaries, definitely, you want to make them independent. I think boundaries are, we tend to want to cuddle our children. We want to protect them, don't want any, no hurt to them. We want them to be happy, we want them to, we want to be good with them. We want them to trust us and all that stuff. But you have to be careful with those boundaries, and creating those boundaries where you have to, let them get mad at you. It's okay. It'll be all right. I promise. The life won't be over if if you say no. If you tell them, no, you need to do it. I need you to do it. Create that independent self in them. I remember I was making dinner or getting ready to make dinner one time. My son, he wasn't doing nothing but on the phone. I said, you know what? Come cook with me. I'm gonna help you and teach you how to make the hamburger.
Mhm.
We have burgers and fries at night. You're gonna make the hamburgers tonight. How about that? So, and I took them step by step. This is what you're gonna do and stuff. So you have to utilize all those teachable moments, but creating those boundaries mean that you sometimes have to step away and let them do it. And even if they don't do it like you do it, sometimes I hated the way they wash dishes. Oh my God, I hated the way but I had to let them do it.
Right.
They take out the trash, mop the, you're not making them maids, you're not making them your butlers or anything like that because you're having them do things around the house or do chores. You're setting them up and creating that success. And you're creating that boundary where they're not dependent on you for everything. Help, creating to where you let them make decisions. Maybe small decisions, instead of you just saying, okay, well, you need to do this and this. Ask them sometime, what do you think you need to do? How do you think you need to handle it? What would you do in this case? Well, what do and kind of guide them. Let them allow them to think for themselves and see where their mind is, see what they're thinking, see what their thought process is, and then structure it. If it's kind of off a little bit, then you kind of, start navigating it a little bit. Okay, well, that sounds good, but, I want you to think of it this way, and give them a different perspective. So that way, when they think about those things again, they can go, oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Because I never thought of it that way, Mom.
Right.
So, so that's the boundaries you create. The boundaries you create is that you put the structures in place to create independence for them and allow them to be self-thinkers, allow them to know who they are, and you start structuring that, and just give them the space and opportunity to do that. Don't always do it all the time. Don't always go pick up their room. Let them pick it up. You just create those things. Don't have them, do certain, and it's not all about chores. They can even, as you're doing, writing out the checks for the budget for the house, allow them to see that sometimes, and say, hey, look at this light bill. I didn't have no problem showing them the light bill. Look, hey, what you doing, mom? I'm on this computer for the pages. Like, look at this light bill. Woo, that sure is a lot of money. Ain't it though?
Wow.
This is why we say cut the lights out, when you leave the room. Say those things and allow them to see those. They know that, so they understand, yeah, money don't come out for trees. It's just not growing here or growing there. And just give them space to do that. So I think that's the boundary that you wanna have. You want to have closeness, but also have a boundary where you say, look, I'm not going to do everything for them. I want them to do it. I want to see their style, their independence, their creativity, their thought process, what they have going, in their mind. Have them talk to you, tell you if they talking about something that happened at school, say, well, oh, that happened for real. Well, how would you would have handled that? Create those conversational moments. What you would have done different, than that other person did. What do you think that person did wrong? After you watch a movie, talk about the movie and let them put themselves in that part. Depending on the movie, what you would have done. You want to know what they're thinking, and then be there to listen to it, and listen to their thought process.
All right, that's good, especially that thinking.
Yeah.
What they're thinking about.
Yeah. Let them be self thinkers, and have a thought process, so that that they're thinking things through, of everything that they do. They have some thought to it, and you're not just giving them your thoughts, or transposing your feelings on everything. Find out what they're feeling, and then if they need structure or guidance in that, then give it to them. Create that structure for them. Help them understand what they're thinking, or ask them why you thinking the way you're thinking, and try to help change and navigate that thought process. So be vocal, be visible, be there, be present.
Yeah, having those conversations, you can find out where they are, where
Mhm.
you need to step it up. You can find
Mhm.
out, we missing a lot of our kids with depression, anxiety, and
Yes.
mental health because as you're saying, you're listening, you're having those conversations, you're around the table, really, really listening on Thursdays, but a lot of people are not listening. They
Yeah.
get those tablets and those phones, and that's all they're doing. We need to listen. And if we do that consistently, we know when there's a shift. So even though they
Mhm.
say, oh, I'm
Yeah.
fine,
No.
they can say it all day long, but you know that there's something different. There's something going on.
Yeah. Yeah, and they may be more willing to talk to you about it when they know that they can have some type of self-expression a little bit, or they feel like, I'm really troubled in this area, and you can kind of hear them out, and they'll trust you because you've opened that gate to allow them to think, and to allow them to be, self thinkers and independent, and have independent thoughts. So, like I said, the only boundary I can see is that you can halt is if you don't, if you do everything for them.
Yeah.
Allow them to do some things, age appropriate things for themselves. There's a stage at every age that children should be doing something. So even as a younger child, they can be learning how to just the simplest thing, just making up their bed in the morning. Every age and stage of a child's development, you can continue that responsibility length, or that's the responsibility length list, and allow it to grow more and more as they get older and older. You create bigger and bigger responsibilities, but start them off young and just gradually go up in that, and so and that's the boundaries that you don't want to, that you can that can halt you, and you want to create or not create.
All right. Excuse me. Because we were talking earlier about, not knowing how to manage money, but it can be something as simple as not knowing how to pack your lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So at a certain
Mm-hmm.
age, you're responsible for your lunch.
Yep.
I got this in there, that in there. You like this. You pack your lunch at night or in the morning, however you need to do it. but you pack your own lunch.
Yeah.
You start getting your clothes out for the
Mm-hmm.
next day, the evening before, so I can
Yeah.
check them out.
Mm-hmm.
But you can make sure that you select what you want, but
Mm-hmm.
something not straight, we'll talk about it, but begin to let them do those type things.
Yeah. At a certain age, I stopped washing. I wash me and my husband clothes. That's it. At a certain age, they wash their own clothes. And I just set a standard. I like every Sunday night. You need to or Sunday evening, you need to get your clothes washed for the week. You got school coming up. So you just create those responsibilities, set those standards, and then just keep directing them. And before you know it, it becomes routine. So after a while, I never had to tell them to go and start, all of a sudden I hear the washing machine going Sunday evening, Sunday night. I know that they're washing and getting their stuff together for the week. As they got older, I didn't go and wake them up in the morning. They set their own clocks for school, and they got themselves up and brushed their teeth and washed their face. So you want to, you don't always want to be that. You want to be a present parent, but you want to also to be a parent that allows that stages of independence and growth as they get older. When it comes to times with first girlfriends and boyfriends, like my sons, first girlfriends, I was like, at 10 o'clock, you need to be off the phone. 9 or 10 o'clock, during the, week or whatever, you need to, he's in high school, but I like, you need to be off the phone. Whether she wants to be off the phone or not, you respect her.
All
And
right.
you tell her, I'll see you tomorrow at school. Time to hang up the phone.
That's
It's
right.
okay. It is okay if they're not gonna make you respect them. You respect them anyway. And that's what I always instill in my sons. It's at the weekends, y'all can talk until midnight, but after a while, you hang up the phone and you say good night, and you show her respect, whether she wants to be off the phone or not. You still show her respect.
That's right.
So I always push that. Like my sons, we ride in the car, I stop at the gas station. They already know you getting out pumping the car, you pumping the gas.
That's
You
right.
know, I may go in there and pay, or they may go do both. You go pay and put the gas in the car, but you do that, and I told them, I was like, whether you're a passenger or you're the driver, you put the gas in the car. And so it all just begins there, and you just kind of continue to push those, different scenarios. And, they may grunt, they may pop the lips, whatever, be okay with that. Don't let that deter you, scare you. It's not about, we want our kids to like us, love us, or whatever. But the best way you can like and love me is listen to what I'm telling you, because I know what I'm telling you is gonna be beneficial to you, and you may not know it now, but
All
you
right.
will when you get older. You'll know and you'll understand and you appreciate me for it.
Yep. Yes, great conversation. Moneta and Camara, thank y'all for tuning in. But it is just amazing. And sometimes they even they will, like you say, smack their lips and
Hmm.
grunt, and they don't want to do it.
Hmm.
And I've often wondered, I've talked and I've taught these lessons, but I wonder what they're gonna do. And I just love it, to go to their homes and see them. Oh, go in there, clean the bathroom, wash the
Hmm.
dishes, throw a load of laundry in the what? Okay, you were listening. Okay, you
Yeah.
got
Yeah, yeah, and it does something to you on the inside. So I wouldn't take it personally when they grunt or pop or whatever. I didn't, you know, it didn't bother me. Pop and grunt all you want to, just do what I'm telling you. it'll it'll be okay. I know it's been a long day for you of phone watching, but you'll be all right. That's what I would tell them. I know it's been a long day of phone watching, and you want to continue to do that, but I need you to stop and do this right now. So,
it.
and they'll be all better for it. So yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think this was a great conversation because there is that special bond. And by having that bond, as I stated, we can talk to them, we can teach them things. And, you know, not only do you create that bond remains, it
Hmm.
doesn't go away. So then you need to have those conversations in the future. You know, life happens, different things happen in life. If things are not going right, you know, you might be the one person that they'll listen to, you
Right.
know, even as an adult. You
Right.
know, well, okay, I know dad said this, I know this one said that, but, you know, mom has never, you know, stirred me in the wrong direction. She's always supported me. She's always been truthful with me. Let me just listen.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I think that's what's building that blueprint, right? You know, that's what the blueprint is building, is seeing how the structure is going to be built. It's
Yes,
getting an example or an idea of, where things go and where to put things. And so the blueprint of life is building, is just that, building that structure and putting things where in the perspective of where they should go and how it should help them lead their life. And that's what designing and building that blueprint for a mother and a son is all about. You're building that structure, you're creating that foundation for their life so that they can go to the next level.
next level. That's right. Well, thank you so much. This has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So don't
Thank
be
you.
surprised if I can give you a call, send you a text. You got to come back.
Definitely, I had a great time, had a great conversation. I really love this and love what you're doing, so kudos.
So much. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in today. Well, make sure that you come back on Thursday, where we have Thursday Live with Coach Deborah, and our topic on Thursday is going to be benefits. So make sure you tune in and check out my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org, so you can check out the blog. I have a blog that comes out each Monday. Check out our calendar of events and services that I offer. But check out my website, and also Facebook page, Facebook and Instagram posts daily. I love to post. Always some nuggets out there. So check it out. But I do thank you all for tuning in today. And we got some people just tuning in. Y'all gonna have to check out the, the recap. We are on our way out. But I thank y'all for tuning in. Lenora, what is that? It's Sierra Ivory. Is that right? And Michelle. Thank y'all for tuning in. We talk about blueprint for success. That's our theme for 2024. But also this year, we are declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over your lives. And we all know what that means. That God wants what for you? Put it in the chat if you know what it is. We talk about this all the time. He wants prosperity for you, not disaster. And he also wants you to have the hope that you want. So we're asking and praying over you that this year you design your blueprints for success based on the plans that God has for you. You put in the work and build your best life. Hi, Angela. So we want you to do that. Make sure that you do that. If you have not liked my Build Your Best Life page, please like it and share. Turn on those notifications so you can check me out. But I'm on here every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I would love to have you all back. I saw a lot of new names out here supporting Toshika, and I'm so happy for that. I love it when people come on and support our guests. So thank you all so very, very much. And thank you for tuning in, because you could have been anywhere else today, but you decided to support us. And Toshika, is there anything else you thought of that you would like to share before you go?
Nothing else I can think of. I think we covered everything, but just, continue to just pray for our sons, and, definitely pray for our daughters, all our children, all our
Yes.
young adults, as we continue to take this journey in getting them to the next things and next levels in life. I know that we can do it. I know that it gets tired, but don't be weary in well doing, because in the end, you will reap the benefits if you faint not. So hang in there, everybody. Hang in there, all the parents. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I hope to see some of you Thursday. Check out the rewind on today's talk if you missed part of it. And I hope to see you Thursday. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.